Hello there and a pleasant welcome to the national news here on Star Television Network on Channel 21 with me, Hassan Kouroman. For the headlines, the Executive Director of TVET under the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, Dr. Victor Masakoy, has hinted that the government will soon commence the apprenticeship program nationwide, which will enable young people to go through in-depth tutorship in skills training and development.
We want to introduce what we call the apprenticeship policy in this country. People do apprenticeship here and there in a fragmented nature across the country, but we want something organized, something structured, something holistic that can be done in Falaba, that can be done in Bo, in Kedema, in Mageni, and in Kono, as the case may be.
The Chief Executive National Public Procurement Authority (NPPA), Ibrahim Brahma Soare, has challenged procurement officers to regularize themselves with both the procurement manual and regulations that will aid them in executing their duties.
But what has happened over the period? People use 2016 Act and use the 2006 regulation in processes and procedure. And the grave area is, even when auditors goes out, they use the 2006 regulation as a tool to audit people. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong.
Since the closure of the Guinea border in November 2020, businesswomen were faced with challenges of transportation, getting access to their various markets. This medium spoke to market women at a Guinea store to sound their opinion on the opening of the Guinea border.
Good way Guinea but the way Guinea road na both to pass. We load them to receive. We get lots of problems then, so they pass them happen, we get business to time. So we not happy with the road, we go be locked.
All these stories plus more making the national news for today. Those were the headlines. Let's now go for the news in details with me, Hassan Kouroman. The Executive Director of TVET under the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, Dr. Victor Masakoy, has hinted that the government will soon commence the apprenticeship program nationwide, which he said will enable young people to go through in-depth tutorship in skills training and development. Dr. Masakoy made this disclosure during the launch of the fourth phase of the Employment Promotion Program by the German Corporation at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Freetown. Compiled by Alfie Barry, read in the studio by Elizabeth Kagbo.
When making a statement during the launch of the Employment Promotion Program, the Executive Director for TVET, Dr. Victor Masakoy, commended the German government and the European Union for launching the EPP program, which he said will help to engage young people and help increase internal revenue. On the next step for skills development for young people, Dr. Masakoy hinted that they will be launching a national apprenticeship program, which he said the policy framework has been laid and the consultant will soon commence operation.
The TVET sector was neglected for years, and so as a result of that, with the coming of this new government, one of the areas that they wanted to focus on was to ensure that we provide the requisite skills development for young people across the country. But then in providing the skills development for young people across the country, you also want to look at another aspect of it, which simply means, because skills development basically is not like the grammar school type of education. It's more, you expose somebody to 20-30% theories, but then the rest of the 70-80% is about practical things. And so we want to introduce what we call the apprenticeship policy in this country. People do apprenticeship here and there in a fragmented nature across the country, but we want something organized, something structured, something holistic that can be done in Falaba, that can be done in Bo, in Kenema, in Makeni, and in Kono, as the case may be.
Hello.
So we are going to have
transportation provided to all those media.
We are going to have the TVET, the apprenticeship, but particularly TVET trainees across the country. And that one is going to start hopefully very soon. We have started the process. We have done the TOR for the consultant, and B, once we get the resources from government, we are going to ensure that we work with our partners. And immediately after this launch, just now I was speaking to the EPP4 coordinator, National Programs Coordinator, Dr. Zimmerman, and he said there is a possibility there that we can work together to put that policy together. And also, my friend, I just want to say that no organization, no government, even in your family, you cannot function well without policy, something that is going to guide, like a framework that is going to guide the step-by-step things that you want to do. And so that's why this policy and a host of other policies within the TVET sector. For me, I want, when I leave this office, I want to look back and say, okay, well, when I was there, I achieved A, B, C, D, E for young people in this country, so that at least we have something to do, something that is not just going to benefit them individually, but that is going to benefit every young person in Bombali, in Kono, in Bo, in Kenema, collectively, and for the country at large.
Dr. Massakoy noted that this apprenticeship program will pivot young people in an advantaged position in terms of acquiring the requisite skills that are germane to the current job market. He concluded by noting that upon completion of the program, it will engender young people to immensely serve as the middle-level power of the economy. Compiled by Alfie Barry, read in the studio by Elizabeth Kagbo.
The Chief Executive of the National Public Procurement Authority, NPPA, Ibrahim Bremasware, during the launch of the first quarter of the 2021 price norm at the Ministry of Finance conference room, has challenged procurement officers to regularize themselves with both the procurement manual and regulations that will aid them in executing their duties. Abdurrahman Kamara has more to the story.
The Chief Executive, National Public Procurement Authority, Ibrahim Bremasware, during the launch of the first quarter of the 2021 price norm at the Ministry of Finance conference room on Thursday, February 4, 2021, has called on procurement officers to regularize themselves with both the procurement manual and regulation that will aid them in the exercise of their duty. The price norm, according to the Chief Executive, National Public Procurement Authority, Ibrahim Bremasware, is a statutory requirement empowered by the Procurement Act to undertake a quarterly launch of the price norm that guides ministries, departments and agencies from spending recklessly on procurement. During the launch of the price norm at a conference room in the Ministry of Finance, the Chief Executive, NPPA, Bremasware, said the price norm formula is essential as it has reduced wastages and over-bloated procurement across MDs. He said that past mistakes has been linked to procurement officers, but now that the tender document is a must, it will hold all those responsible that we are part of the agreement, and when there is an abnormality in procurement, it is a committee that will be responsible. He admonished procurement officers to be providing professional responsibilities.
It means this is not living anymore, because the 2004 Act was interpreted by the 2006 regulation. So if there is an act repealing entirely the 2004 Act, this is not supposed to be used. But what has happened over the period? People use 2016 Act and use the 2006 regulation in processes and procedure. And the grave area is, even when auditors goes out, they use the 2006 regulation as a tool to audit people. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. That's the reason why, when I took over, I realized we needed to have a regulation that will interpret this 2016 Act. And the 2020 regulation was passed. So if anybody goes to your place and audits you on 2006 regulation, call it all. Can we please read our document and teach the auditor?
The Acting Director of Procurement Directorate and the Minister of Finance, Furikone, noted that the price norm is not only serving as a guide in buying, but to guide in developing a plan.
It's a very, very, very strategic document. In my description, the price norm is an operational tool for all practitioners. If you look at the use of the price norm on a day-to-day basis, you will know that it gives you the relevant market information required for your work as a procurement practitioner. I also describe the price norm as an audit tool. All of us are aware about the news about audits, about audit reports. The price norm has become the guiding rule for the prices to be verified against purchases that are made using public funds. So the price norm is also an audit tool. Another description I give to this price norm is that the price norm is a value for money enhancement tool. Now, the Ministry of Finance has made it categorically clear for all of you people that send requests for certificates of approval, your building prices are compared to the price norm. Where there are significant variances, those requests will be sent back to you for review. And I've also gone through correspondence from the National Public Procurement Authority, where the authority has made sure that prices are negotiated to reflect value for money.
The Chief Executive, National Public Procurement Authority, Ibrahim Brema Suare, further revealed plans to launch the Code of Ethics for practicing procurement officers that will be sent to the President for it to become binding on every procurement officer.
You cannot just be an officer, you depend on the old soft copies that you met on your laptop, or you go around and collect from your colleagues, and you just, what do? You just paste from this person to another person and just change the ministries. It's wrong. Let's read. And if we don't read, our discipline will always be looked at as secretarial job, and I don't think that's okay for all of us. You have so a lot of colleagues now here who are SIPs holders. So if we're getting people who are SIPs holders, it should be reflective of what we're doing. I'll boastfully tell you at the NPPA, we have people who are SIPs holders. That's why you see our jobs get improving day in, day out.
He challenged procurement officers to change the image of procurement and to maintain a good working relationship with ministries, departments and agencies that will positively influence on the procurement landscape in the country. Abdul Rahman Kamal reporting.
Since the closure of the Guinea border in November 2020, business people were faced with challenges of transportation, that is getting access to move their goods from neighboring Guinea to Sierra Leone. This medium spoke to market people at the Guinea store to sound their opinion on the reopening of the Guinea border. Zainab Sunkari Kamara sound their view. These were their concerns.
Since the closing of the Guinea border in November 2020, businesswomen have been faced with a lot of challenges. Here are the views of these market women at the Guinea store about the prospect of the reopening of the border between the two countries.
Feel good where Guinea don't open, because the way Guinea road na both is the pass. We load them, they receive. We get lots of problems and some day past and package road, we not able to get business to time. So we not happy with the road, we go be locked. Some of us have market we only over 5 months we took out some market the road is ready to so we get challenges there, we get difficulties.
So far for market, we go market you buy the cost you buy 3 lapa on 90,000. No, it's not possible for one student to have 90,000. Because so how to go up. Okay. Also about the other way kind of Pasaki, they pay almost million for slow down. Let me gradually slow down. Let the government make sure say because they can know. People do not can a problem for you. So the light market is already at the border, pack this. They not going to make no pay cost. But they make you pay cost for them. You pay duty for them.
And their money they also will they do business, so then a microcredit money, now the government money. So the money that the boats and the sinks, they get losses too much. We get losses, and when see a boat on left in water, we need the able get nothing there. It all lost. When the road don't open, so the price they all along kick up, they all long go up. So when we back they put now, the people in the able for buy. So the sell stronger, it's not easy for me.
God me luck who strain with the business woman who suffer. And when not there for go inside, you say go load na boat, so we get problem with the boat. Some of you load they left the water because for no more offend living. Talk to the drivers then. because the drivers there, now they're able to secure it because we said that they take 4, they're able to take 2 or 3, so we're able to give distance. Power for talk to the drivers there. As the government talk to the drivers, unions.
Some of these businesswomen have raised concern about the possibility of the Ebola virus coming into the country as a result of the reopening of the border. For Star TV News, this is Zainab Sunkari Kuruma reporting.
You're still watching the national news here on Star Television Network on Channel 21 with me, Hassan Kuruma. As Farabi College marked 194th of its foundation day, on February 18th, the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Professor Alpha Tijanwuri, has commended the college administration for their infrastructure developments, noting the positive benchmark of achievement by the way of regaining the college's lost glory. Here is a report. The Farabi College came into existence at a time the whole West African region was in dire need of up-to-date tertiary institution. Since its establishment, the 18th of February 2021, Farabi College celebrates its 194 years of existence at the Ajekrauda Amphitheatre on the Mount Orel campus in Freetown. During the foundation celebration and flag-raising ceremony, the keynote speaker of the occasion, Professor Alpha Tijanwuri, the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, first of acknowledged the Academic Staff Association for their unending efforts amidst a trying time for the nation. Also noting that the rapid infrastructural change of the university is something to write home about.
Structural change that you see. Look at the fact that you now have new faculties, new departments coming up. In Sierra Leone, mining is the mainstay. But this is the first time we are here now talking about the faculty or the Department of Mining Engineering. In Sierra Leone, we were exposed to civil war, 1991 onwards. We have been exposed to Ebola previously, 2014, 2016. We are now currently handling the coronavirus. Our people have gone through a range of traumatic incidences. But as was said, we are a resilient people. And each time we emerge doing well, Farabi College has created a department of social science, wherein your psychosocial studies will now impact on those that are exposed to the war, to Ebola. And yet we do not recognize what we do. You know the gap of this institution as of now? I think it's communication. That is why when I heard the way the chairman of this occasion coined his words, I said now we have a leader that we can go back and get foundation course in which English and communication skill is the mainstay. If you are supposed to do honors in the 70s, you must do French. Without doing French, you will not graduate as a honors student. So the student of Farabi College was trained to be able to communicate with the public. What is a university anyway? Not only to assimilate information, but to do research, and in particular to do community service.
Professor Lawrence Kamara, the principal of Farabi College, in his statements, congratulates both past and present Farabites on this wonderful day. He thought that 2020 was a tough moment for the university. Also called on all present during the occasion to use this occasion to deeply reflect on the past so as to get a better future.
We want to strengthen that with time because we really want to move on the e-learning platform. We really want to move as a college and at large we want to go on the e-learning platform. That is one way we can actually cope up with the students. The first rate at which the student population is growing. And that is also one way we can commit ourselves to accommodate the entrance from the free education classes in the secondary schools. We have the first resource center, and that will be open very soon. That will be facilitating students' registration on the portal and generating income internally to enable the administration to provide more facilities for staff and students. The new bank is now on campus to bring more convenient and efficient service delivery to staff and students on campus. And many thanks to Rokel Commercial Bank for this consideration. We have created a new...
Adding his input to the auspicious event, Professor Safode asserted that since the establishment of the university in 194 years ago, it has been a hub for academic excellence in West Africa and a symbol of national pride. The DVC called on the administration to strengthen the alumni association through seminars, which will in turn be a strong force to development.
94 years ago today, this Institute of Higher Education was founded. Since its founding in 1827, it has remained an enviable institution of academic excellence in West Africa and a symbol of national pride. Every year, as we converge to commemorate this day, reminiscence of how Frabe College contributed in providing education to Sierra Leoneans as well as nationals from other countries in the sub-region, and how we as a nation earned the accolade of Athens of West Africa are always recounted with joy and pride. Frabe College has stood out as a symbol of academic excellence for many years and has successfully produced men and women of very high academic standing and status in various fields.
Whatever they do, they should be emboldened to say, "Non-CB," said Alice, meaning not for self, but for others. Frabe College is a public university in Freetown, Sierra Leone, founded on the 18th day of February 1927. It was the first Western-style university built in West Africa.
We do or say. We are emboldened to say, "Non-CB," said Alice, not for self, but for others. Because we are committed in our daily interactions with humanity to build bridges of understanding.
Creating opportunities for disadvantaged persons, CODA, have concluded a one-day public lecture on the role of mental health in law enforcement. Moses Ojukamara takes up the story.
Creating Opportunities for Disadvantaged Persons CODA is a youth organization established to advocate for opportunities to be given to the less privileged people in society, such as albinos, aged, drug abusers, and the likes. Against the backdrop of the nature of low attention that has been put on mental illness and that of the mental health education, CODAP has organized a day public lecture on the role of mental health education in the law enforcement sector. According to Said Bangura, co-founder of Creating Opportunities for Disadvantaged Persons, the lecture targets military personnel and the Sierra Leone police because they are charged with the responsibilities of protecting lives and property and to maintain peace in the country. He further added that these security personnel should not be left behind when talking about mental education because they are human beings and hence prone to the different types of mental illness.
Well, actually, I'm a member of the Safety for All organization, and last year we did what we call community engagement. We did a lot of education on mental health and other issues. After that lecture, a lot of police, military children, even some family members, they do come to our unit to seek for help. So when Dr. Edwina, she's a partner of CODAP. She had been helping with telepsychotherapy for a very long time now. When she came to Sierra Leone, I used the opportunity for her to help with some mental health education, behaviorism in the law enforcement sector. And I believe that's the aim of today's lecture, and that's why this lecture came into being. Well, what I hope to achieve in this lecture, we want policy analysts or policy advocates to really raise their voices on issues of mental illnesses in the security sector. They went through a whole lot in society. The job itself is traumatized. So if these people that are working there don't have a platform wherein they should express how miserable they are feeling, it's going to be challenging. We want mental health education in the security sector. We even need mental health centers in some of the sectors wherein people will go to express how miserable they are feeling without being judged. That's the main aim for today's lectures.
Keynote speaker Dr. Edwina Davis, a partner with CODAP, in her statement said that with the required professional attention, the effects of mental illness will be minimized.
It can be controlled, it can be managed. We'll teach you how to function in society and how to control it. But there's no such thing as a cure, because it's a disorder. When there is something that is a disorder, we cannot cure it. So for example, if you are schizophrenic, we can give you medication to regulate whatever chemical imbalance is going on there, whatever hallucination you're hearing. But that doesn't mean you're cured. We can make you function in the society.
Beneficiaries applauded CODAP and team for what they described as a timely intervention in addressing the issue of mental illness.
Well, as for me, as a psychosocial impact student, we are the candidate, I feel so lively because it's like we get so many challenges. We see healthy people there, but they present like they are healthy, but they're not healthy. Because when anybody when you see it get in depressing state, and they try for go into another form of unhealthy status because they do things on your own. So then they present like say they well-being okay.
Really, it's nice because just like as one of the facilitators said, really mental health all over the whole world is less concerned. People are not really pay attention to mental health issues in the whole world. That's why really it is important, it is value, it is necessary for them really to come up with this training. Because getting training in all those things really is speed up, it helps people at least to know something about mental health.
For Star News in Freetown, I am Moses Oju Kamara.
This is all we have time for in our national news here on Star Television Network on Channel 21 with me, Hassan Kouma. Thanks for watching and do stay with us for the very best.